Hello, and welcome to Filthy
Nerds!
Yay! I'm Jessica Michelle Singleton.
And I'm Nicole Amy Schreiber.
And we are your filthy, nerdy hosts.
We're filthy and we're nerdy.
And there is at least two of us.
Yes. Well, with your personalities.
Who knows?
20.
It's innumerable.
Mm-hmm. She's a lot of woman.
I'm a whole lot of woman.
Speaking of a lot of woman.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about chapters 4 through 6 today. No?
Yeah.
7 through 9.
7 through 9.
But first, we want to address something. We briefly touched on it in the last episode, but it was mid-episode, and we just felt like we didn't address it enough, and not more importantly, well, there we go. Everything I say is going to get us canceled. We kind of missed just fucking talking shit about what's going on.
Yeah.
So we decided we're going to start putting a segment. I mean, this needs to be addressed because we're a Harry Potter podcast, so this happens to be our segment, but we're going to do a segment every episode now at the beginning. For like 20 minutes. We're just going to rip into whatever we want to rip into. Run our filthy mouths.
Run our goddamn atrocious, filthy, dirty, disgusting, trash dumpster mouths.
So if you liked what we were doing before, we decided to go full nerd podcast. This is something for you. Yeah. If all you care about is the nerdy stuff, you can skip ahead.
But I would stick around for this. Come on.
Yeah,
you don't want to hear us fucking get mad?
Yeah.
It's the joy of our frickin' life.
Yeah.
I just said frickin' instead of fucking.
We're two friggin' filthy nerds, and I'll tell you something, you son of a
We're
gun.
a bunch of dirty birdies.
That's right. Okay, so obviously, we have to talk about J.K. Rowling.
J.K. Rowling, she...
Come on,
First
bitch!
of all, thank you, J.K., for giving us the gift of Harry Potter.
I mean, truly a gift.
But people are calling for her to be canceled, kind of, because of what she said about trans women.
Here's the thing.
I'm going to read her tweet real quick. If you haven't heard it, this is what she tweeted.
This was the original.
Her original tweet was, people who menstruate. I'm sure there used to be a word for those people. Someone help me out. Wombin, Wimpund, Womud.
This was, of course, quote tweeted around an article that referenced people who menstruate in the headline, and boy did people tear into her.
Tore into her, and she wrote back in retort, it isn't hate to speak the truth.
Yeah. Okay. Don't condense it. The whole tweet. Here's the thing: is that people are making this a black and white issue, and I don't think it's a black and white issue. I think what she said is inappropriate, but I don't think it's out of hatred for trans people.
Yeah, I don't think she's a hateful person. I think she might be very out of touch.
Yeah, older, misguided, and I have a theory that maybe if you overstimulate your creative brain, it rots your logic brain.
I couldn't agree with that more. I have neither. They're both rotten. And
I don't know what part of this is logic brain or whatever. It doesn't matter. The point is, I think that people are trying to crucify her for having a slightly different point of view about sex and gender, when I don't understand why there's so much energy in that fight when there are people who are literally transphobic.
Yeah.
Because what she's saying, I think she wants there to be room for safe spaces for people who are born a biological sex to share their stories.
Yeah.
And there is a part of me that 100% lacks the communication skill to convey what I'm about to say without sounding like an idiot. But I empathize with you wanting to go like, this is great. We're all women. I would like to speak only with women who can understand personally what I have gone through.
I agree with that completely. I think there's something about the universal experience of growing up as a woman menstruating, as the things that come with being a woman going through puberty.
Well, that you're told from a very young age as a woman versus coming out later in life.
Yeah.
And then, a lot of people are coming out earlier and earlier. So hopefully, and unfortunately this isn't always the case, that you get to be in a situation where you're supported and getting to have those conversations with your family, and people are looking out for you and telling you things you have to worry about now as a woman, as a trans woman, as a trans person in the world. But the perspective of someone who grew up, maybe her age specifically, where there was a lot less conversation around gender stuff, a lot less people coming out publicly as transgendered. And you just want to be able to share space with people who physically embody you and your experience or are similar to the physical embodiment of what you go through.
She had this new tweet, which emerged on June 6th. So that other one was from a while back. That other one was from like last year. Sorry. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
We're working on new sounds.
That was not from last year. That was from a a few weeks ago. And then
this one was from a few weeks ago.
Oh,
I thought for some reason
she said something. Here's the thing. She said something a while ago.
Okay.
People are going on and on about how she's a TERF, which is trans exclusionary radical feminist.
So here's the thing she tweeted on June 6th. If sex isn't real, there's no same-sex attraction. If sex isn't real, the lived reality of women globally is erased. I know and love trans people, but erasing the concept of sex removes the ability of many to meaningfully discuss their lives. It isn't hate to speak the truth.
Here's what I don't understand, and maybe she's responding to the global attack of her. Are people trying to erase sex? Okay, some people maybe are. Here's a thing I had a problem with. I had a problem with both sides of this. During the Women's March, there were women wearing hats sewn to look like pussies. First problem. What are you fucking doing? You want to be taken seriously. Like, if men were marching for rights and came up to you with a dick on their head, you would be like, sorry, what is going on?
Yes.
Is this
hilarious?
An equality march or a lesbian bachelorette party? What's going on? But there were people going, you shouldn't be wearing those hats because some women don't have vaginas. Absolutely true.
Some women don't have vaginas.
Absolutely true that there are, trans women who do not have vaginas. I love them. I support them. They are women too. I am not going to pretend I don't have a vagina because other people don't have one. Where's the gray area on that? That I'm just supposed to never mention my pussy because it makes someone who doesn't have one uncomfortable? So I see how that thought could then spiral into, are you trying to erase women? So if someone goes too deep into that thought.
It's like also, if there are women who aren't able to have children and there are women who do have children, are those women not allowed to post pictures of their children then? If that's the same rationale you want. If it excludes women by wearing a pussy hat, trans women who don't have fucking pussies, does it exclude women, just in a different analogy, does it exclude women who, is that being insensitive if a woman posts pictures of her kid?
And especially if she's like, look what I made. It's like, that's what a joy of a woman to be able to create this life. Is that then insensitive?
Yeah.
And maybe it is. But it's hard to wrap, I just understand how someone could go, well, is what's going on you trying to erase the story of my experience as someone with a vagina?
Yeah.
And I think a lot of it comes down to semantics.
I think majority of this is semantics.
But the problem is someone in a celebrity light, and maybe it's not just celebrities, it's anyone who, the majority internet gets hold of, is nobody allows for error.
No.
Like, where are the people in J.K. Rowling's comments trying to go, let's have a conversation about why this is hurtful and maybe meet you at where you're feeling hurt.
Yeah.
And try to find a common ground.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Because, I don't know, if she's like scared that women's stories are being erased, that's, sorry for you to just go, fuck you, you're transphobic and not even address it like this is a human who's scared.
Yeah.
Well, how progressive are you?
I don't, it really bothers me that there's people who are calling for like, people want to cancel her.
Well, it's also people going like, I will never share the story of Harry Potter with my children. It's like, you're going to deny your kids one of the greatest stories of all time because an older woman is using the wrong verbiage or is misguided, but has clearly stated, like she's always been pro LGBT. As far as I know, she's donated via charity, and if I'm wrong on that, tell me to go fuck myself. That was my impression. And maybe she's not directly affiliated with like the HP Alliance and other things like that are Harry Potter themed organizations for the gay community. But I don't know. It's like,
to those people, I'm just like, all right, if I ever hear you so much as fucking humming a song from Michael Jackson. Go fuck yourself.
Truly, that it's like you want to light someone up, and look, fucking, I've never understood, like, when people go, separate the art from the artist, and I'm like, no, fuck you, they're a child molester. But now, and I'm sure it's the same people attacking, you know, Michael Jackson, Woody Allen, which, like, 100%, I'm with you. But it's like, you got to go all in. And this doesn't feel like a thing you need to go all in on. This feels like a conversation that needs to be had.
Mm-hmm.
Because whether you like it or not, just telling someone you disagree with who has said something hurtful, fuck you, you're wrong, that is not progress. That person doesn't.
That just closes the door on anything great happening.
You cannot make progress without difficult conversations. And, like, this bleeds over into, I mean, you know, obviously she's not American, but into, like, election stuff, you can't just tell someone who doesn't agree with your candidate they're a fucking idiot and go fuck yourself, you're insensitive, which, even if those things are true, and you should call people out on stuff like that, but, like, that's not gonna get the person you're trying to get in office votes.
No.
Like, if what you actually want is progress, you
can't keep closing a door to dialogue.
No, you have to be able to have those conversations. And I understand that people being too emotional to have a conversation clearly. I understand reacting with your emotions, and I've done it, gone, all I can do is go, fuck you. And I'm trying to learn, and I think I've got better at going, I'm going to back out of this conversation right now, because I cannot think rationally and have a discussion about it because I'm so upset in the moment. But we can't progress without those conversations.
No.
Like, nobody changes if you just tell people you don't agree with to go fuck themselves. I'm blocking you, fuck you.
I also think on some level, because we did say it was semantics, like, if you can hash that out real easy. Like, you could get to the bottom of things real quickly if you just are like, oh, this is what I meant. This is what I meant. I didn't mean it like that. Oh, I didn't mean it like that. Oh, you're just using a different word we have the same understanding. You know, she said, if there's no sex, then there's no same-sex relationship.
Which is very interesting.
Which is true then. If there's no sex, then there's no such thing as being gay or being a lesbian, because we're all genderless creatures.
But, like, is she responding to what is actually going on, or is she responding to a fear that is what the progression of gender, you know, gender culture is leading to? Yeah. Like, is that even a real thing? Did she see one article? Like, are the large group of, like, the majority of transgender people trying to erase sex? I don't know that they are. But
I think they're trying to redefine
gender.
They're trying to redefine gender, and she's seeing it as them completely taking away gender, when really it's just like, no, like, listen, everybody needs to just talk, as you said. It's
like a discussion.
There's just a discussion that needs to be had, you know, and let's get rid of the anger. Let's stop being angry at her. Like, I mean, come on. First of all, like,
you're entitled to be angry if somebody here. Sorry, go ahead. I'm now getting angry.
I'm like, JK, go count your money.
Well,
go to your castle in a cloud and stop tweeting.
Well, also, I think that there are people that have the ideas like, oh, this woman, she's just this rich white woman sitting in her castle, disconnected from society. All right, fucking connect with her then.
Yeah, bring her down to earth.
Yeah, like, try
to be her wake-up call. If you think you're so superior in the way you see the world, then why don't you try to educate someone who doesn't see it the way you do?
Yeah, and a connection is such a crucial and important part of societal growth, societal progress. And you are kidding. Like, if you think screaming at her is connecting, and I don't just mean her, I mean anyone, but when you think about general connection and the people you have connected with, just think of all of your friendships, all of your relationships, all of the people you remember in your life that you have had a significant connection with. How many of them, when upon first meeting, your first impression, came up to you and were like, fuck you, you fucking idiot, and you thought, yes, this is a conversation I'm going to just love to continue?
Never. No one would want that.
It's a lot easier to do that, by the way. It's a lot harder to get angry at someone and then go, let's have a conversation. 100%.
Yeah.
It's not always easy.
The right thing isn't necessarily easy, but once you get through it and once it's done, Like, this is worth it. This is worth it to have this conversation. People feel passionately about what she's saying because it's coming from someone who gave the world this incredible gift. And we don't want to believe that she's this terrible person. I don't think she's a terrible person.
No, but I
don't think anybody should. And if you do, stop. She's not a horrible, hateful person. She sees the world differently than you do. It is on you and her to sit down at a table and get to the bottom of things and come to some sort of understanding. Don't just shut that door. And I don't know, I would love to be the person to sit down and talk with her.
Oh, 100%. And if you're listening to this going, oh yeah, just sit down and have a conversation with J.K. Rowling. Fuck you. Like that's just an option. Here's the thing. Look at the ratio on her tweets about all this stuff. Look at the comments. She's not the only one that feels this way. So there's a chance that someone you know understands where she's coming from, feels that way, and they are like, yeah, I don't understand why this is such a big deal. Address it at the level you're seeing it.
Yeah.
Like, we all have to be prepared to go in those conversations. And we can all sit online and pretend we're fucking social justice heroes and that bad
and experts on everything
don't cross our minds. But the reality is there are almost certainly no evil and no perfect people. We're all somewhere in the middle. And even at our best, we have thoughts that probably pop into our head and we go, oh, that's probably not the right thought that I should be having, but it came up.
And listen, sometimes you can just let that thought pass. You don't need to tweet it. You don't need to say it. You can just have that thought where you're like, oh God, that isn't like the best thought. I really do feel that way, but you don't need to say it.
Yeah, which maybe that was a bad call on her part.
Yeah. I have to wonder, she knows it's going to cause a stir. What is she trying to do?
The thing is
she gaslighting? Is this a gaslighting thing?
I don't know. My thought is like maybe because she already went up in flames about it, but if it's really plaguing her and her only conversation is through a computer and the people screaming at her, maybe she really is like, no, this is very important to me. And if it's that important to her and she's that worried about it, maybe she's like, I do need
to address this.
I need to say something.
Yeah.
If she truly feels what she thinks is not coming from a hateful place and is a real concern, then, I mean, anyone should stand up and say, if you really feel that way, you're like, I'm getting a lot of heat about something, you should voice it. You should go, wait, I still don't feel okay about this. But also, fucking read the room.
Oh, God.
Like, now
the world is imploding. And she's like, you know what?
It's like,
let's come back to this issue.
Like, can we just, as a world, as a people who want to do better, fucking focus on one issue in front of us and make some fucking progress before we come in and go, but what about this? Even like feminism, when people want to go, oh, but well, what about this is kind of like actually anti-feminism and other people who are trying to just make some progress aren't doing it good enough. It's like, why don't we fucking get one big picture thing accomplished?
Yeah, let's push one thing through. Let's tackle one really big fucking agenda.
Instead
and
of
especially, not that being trans isn't important, but like, I'm sorry, Black Lives Matter, this is an issue that has plagued our country since the beginning of time.
And we're in the thick of finally looking like maybe we're on the cusp of some sort of progress.
So can we just like shut the fuck up about trans rights, get through this Black Lives Matter movement, let's get some fucking equality for people who are long overdue for it, and then we can get to trans lives.
Or, I don't know if it's so fucking hard, and I think this is where people get stunted in trying to help. I know, speaking from my own experience, it's easy to shut down, is going, there's too many things and I can't focus.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. Maybe put all our eggs in one basket. It's like, yes, of course, still stick up for everything if you see people oppressing other groups.
I mean, obviously, if you see something, say something. But
it's like, can we just make one thing, make progress on one thing before we get to the nitty gritty of even that thing?
Yeah. Look at how much progress we've made in the past, 2 weeks with like a global focused energy on Black Lives Matter. Look at the progress that was made, in, the different cases of, police being indicted.
And there's still so much to do, but what a change just from those 2 weeks.
Of people focusing their attention on Black Lives Matter.
And it's like, imagine if we took that focus, pushed it a little bit longer, got some even more lasting change, pushed us into the election, and we're able to take that amount of focus and put it on something else.
Yeah.
Like,
and we're not saying don't focus on it. We're not saying, sorry, we're going to put you on the back burner. Don't say anything until this is over.
Yeah, no one's silencing it.
Yeah. Like, but it, it's just like, why? I mean, J.K. Rowling, maybe she doesn't care about Black Lives Matter, and this is her way of being.
Yeah, it's like, let's focus on the truth, is that maybe she's a racist.
Yeah. We know she's a fattist.
I mean,
no one in Harry Potter. She's just against people. Honestly, it's not that she hates all people. No lives matter.
Look at the way she writes every character.
Every character is ugly, fat, weird looking, big hair, big teeth, beady eyes. Like, poor Neville. That guy's never gonna have one good adjective. Never, not one. He's gonna be the butt of every fucking joke forever.
My God. And just the way she writes. I mean, we just, in the chapter we're about to discuss, is that the one we did, the flight? Is that in this?
Yeah, the flight.
The flight of the fat lady.
The fat lady
in the portrait.
That's what she's been reduced to.
Yeah, why are we so...
Not the lady with gray hair.
Yeah, why is nobody, by the way, trying to... Or the cute pink outfit.
Yeah.
Why is nobody canceling her for that? That's been going on for years. Those are just sitting in the books.
Oh, now you want to come after her.
It's like, oh, God. And also, for everyone with the same hot take of like, oh, so I guess when you hit menopause, J.K. Rowling, you're not a woman anymore. Ha, real funny, but the reality is a lot of men don't see us, literally see us like that. So
our stock value's over. By the way, our stock value's over the second we cannot produce heirs.
That's what we're told. Yeah. So it's like, let's stick it to J.K. when the reality is that's how we're fucking treated in society.
Yeah. And we live in L.A. Second you get over 30, your stocks are fucking plummeting. You
Ew.
hit 40, out to pasture with your fat ass.
Get out of here, Dusty.
Just fucking coughing up mothballs instead of eggs.
Anyway, I'm hot. We're going to take a break. We'll be back.
Can we turn the AC on?
Yeah.
Okay.
We're just going to talk about